Nick Rudder from McKee's37.com. I want to show you alternatives to a traditional clay bar. So detailing clay is one of the most important steps in any proper detail. Using detail clay before you wax increases the depth and gloss of the paint by removing bonded contaminants like paint overspray, rail dust, and industrial pollution, and any other common pollutant that may land on your vehicle and is not necessarily removed during the washing process. So using a clay bar is simple. Here's a traditional clay bar. It's a sticky patty, and what it contains is there's an abrasive in here, and the way it works is you take a clay lubricant and you spray it on the surface. You rub the bar back and forth. It'll be a little bit grabby at first, and then afterwards it glides freely, and what happens is it essentially shaves off bonded contaminants. They stick to the tackiness of the bar. You fold the clay bar in, you reknead it, expose the clean section, and you perform this panel by panel until your entire vehicle has been clayed. One of the downsides of a clay bar, besides the fact that you can only do one, maybe two cars with it, is that if you drop it, it has to go in the garbage. Because the clay bar is sticky, it'll pick up dirt and grit from the floor, and the last thing you want to do is rub that dirt or grit particle into your paint. You'll end up with a mess of scratches. So at McKee's37.com, we manufacture what we call a universal clay mitt. And a clay mitt is a microfiber mitt that's coated with a rubberized polymer coating that essentially does the same thing as a detailing clay bar. The difference is that the contaminants, they don't stick to the material. There's no rekneading. This is much larger compared to a clay bar, so you cover a much broader surface area. And the biggest advantage, besides the fact that these last a lot longer, that you can do between 30 and 50 cars with a clay mitt. If you drop it accidentally, you simply rinse it off. So if you look real close at these two guys, there's all these ridges and valleys, and that's essentially how it works. It shaves off the contaminants and it leaves the paint silky smooth and extremely glossy. So we offer two grades of clay mitts. We have the fine grade, then we have the medium grade. If you're just doing your own vehicle and you've clayed it before and you stay on top of it, I would go with the fine grade. The medium grade clay mitt is for neglected vehicles, maybe something that belongs to your neighbor or the wife's car, which only gets done once every year or two. Otherwise, always use the least aggressive method when detailing your car, and for most of you, that'll be the fine grade clay. But for safe measure, if you detail more than your own car, have both on hand because they don't really go bad. So besides the universal clay mitt, which is an alternative to a traditional clay bar, one that's much more cost effective, we recently introduced this product as part of our SiO2 ceramic series line. It's called SCS, which stands for spray clay seal. So traditionally, you would use a clay lubricant. You'd rub the clay bar, the clay mitt, you wipe it off, and if it's a production detail, then you follow with the spray wax. So what we developed is this product combines the lubricious nature of a clay lubricant, but it also has a ceramic sealant built in. So the idea being that you can decontaminate the surface while sealing it in one step. This is great if you're a professional detailer. It's an inexpensive, fast service that you can offer to your customers. Or let's say your vehicle is ceramic coated and it spends a lot of time sitting outside. Maybe when you're at work, you can do this process, once every 6 months or once a year with the fine grade mitt, and it will enhance the coating while decontaminating it at the same step. Because coatings, as much as they do a great job protecting the surface, you're still going to get dirt, contaminants, and pollutants and overspray that are going to stick to the surface. So using this product is simple. You can apply it or use it in conjunction with a traditional clay bar, or you can do it with the clay mitt. I go for the clay mitt every time because it's faster, it's easier, and it's much more cost effective, and it's more comfortable too. So you take the SCS, and you want to spray a liberal amount on the surface. You want lots of lubrication, and like everything else we manufacture, SCS smells delectable. Don't eat it, don't drink it. It's just there to make detailing more enjoyable, the pleasant fragrance. And you take the mitt, and you rub it back and forth, and I'm not applying any pressure. I'm not bearing down on this. I'm just the weight of my hand. And right off the bat, initially it's a little grabby, and then it glides freely. And I love doing this to my wife's car especially, because I don't stay on top of hers the way I stay on top of mine. And hers sits outside more than mine, so this is a great way to amp up the gloss, add some slickness, decontaminate the paint, because again, gloss comes from smoothness. And this is what the clay mitt looks like after using it. There's no difference at all. And the contaminants, they're shaved off, and when you wipe the towel away, it takes any contaminants with it versus sticking to the clay bar. So you take a microfiber towel, fold it 4 ways of course, and you simply wipe it off. And what you're left with is a glossy, slick, protected surface that is contaminant free. And SCS, like everything else we make that's in a spray, it wipes off without any effort. There's no streaking, there's no smearing. It simplifies the detailing process, because the last thing that you want is to have a product that is difficult to apply or remove. Because while it may initially seem okay that it's hard to wipe off, by the time you're hours and hours into your detail and you're working your way around the car, you don't want something that's like wiping off concrete. So we make it a point to only use ingredients that are easy to apply and remove. So take it out, check it out, take a look at the hood. It's nice and glossy, it feels real slick, it's not making any noise, and it's now contaminant free. So I would repeat this process panel by panel over the entire vehicle, not just the paint. I would also do the glass, the chrome, any hard or smooth surface. And what's especially nice about the universal clay mitt is we package them in these blister packs. Because I'm often asked, well, Nick, how do I store my clay mitt after use? What you do not want to do is put this in a Ziploc bag. So you can stick it in here, the blister pack. If you're like me, you got like a storage system in your garage. You just put a nail in the wall, you can hang it there, and it's good for future use. Or another option, and this is actually my preferred option, to be honest with you, because down here in South Florida it gets really hot, is I'll open up my tool chest and I'll just throw it on top of some of the tools with the clay material facing up. And I find storing it that way works really well too. So for more information, visit McKee's37.com. That's the universal clay mitt. We have a medium and a fine grade. We also carry traditional detailing clay bars, because there's nothing wrong with them. They work great for the small, intricate areas like the corners of the bumper, in other areas where you might not necessarily be able to squeeze a clay mitt. And then our SCS spray clay seal, which we have this in a 22 ounce, and we also have it in a 128 ounce refill. Check it out, McKee's37.com. And if you like videos like this, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and most importantly, buy direct from McKee's37.com, because that's what supports our YouTube channel. Take care, God bless, and have a nice day.